Hi, everybody. DJ Yokley back again with one of my favorite interviews here in the fourth season of Coach's Corner with Dan Yeagley, episode 2 of season 4. And this one is a bright one because coming off another win, now the Raiders 2-0. Coach Yeagley, walk us through that last week. A surprising end score to those who may have picked up the paper or looked on YSNlive.com on Saturday morning.
It was crazy. I mean, I talked before. It was almost like a track meet. They were scoring quickly, and it took us a good old time to score. Our 4 or 5 minutes, and it was back and forth. I mean, we always kept that one touchdown. They would get coming within one. We were able to answer, thank goodness, and go up by 2 touchdowns again. And it was nothing like the score showed. I mean, it really wasn't. They pushed at the end, and we ended up having enough time, and we got another one in. But it was a close ball game. I mean, 2 good teams, two good programs going at it, and Coach Pearson had his kids ready to play. I mean, they knew how to attack us. They attacked us well, and it was a 48-minute war. It really was, and a lot of banging going on both sides, and it was a good Friday night football game.
A W in the win column, obviously, but a couple of losses along the way. And we talked off the record, injuries are going to happen, especially when you have limited conditioning and lifting and a little bit, I don't want to say structure, but, we talked about week 1 that there's going to be some leniency. There's going to be some people that are going to be shy from hits. Week 2, you kind of figure things out and you get back to a little bit of normalcy. We saw that all across the board in Northeast Ohio on Friday night. A lot of injuries, and you guys were among them.
Yeah, we got banged up a little bit, and a lot of it was because, again, like you said, week 2, okay, all the kinks are out. Let's get after it, and we got after it, and they did too. It was a hard-fought ball game, and they were physical. I mean, Girard's a very physical ball team, and we were physical, and like I said, it just got a lot of pounding going on and little wear and tear. I mean, a couple injuries, but we've always used the mentality next guy up, and the next guy stepped up and did very well for us. And we had to change our play calling a little bit. I had to change some defensive things up, and luckily, I've talked many times. I surround myself with good people, and my assistant coaches got it done. A lot of coaching done on the sidelines Friday night to getting the kids ready and making sure they understand some of the changes that we were doing. And it was awesome though to watch them coach and to watch the kids respond. And we came away with a win, and that was huge. And we got a little bit healthier during the week, and not so healthy some kids, but we're going to line up and the next guy up, and we're going to play, and we got to get ready for this Niles team now.
Very good Niles team, but I want to talk about the conference first. You talked about it's a very physical conference, one of the best conferences in football all around the Valley. So when you look at this on a short season, a 6-game season, basically a sprint at this point, do you feel like, I mean, how can you tell your kids to ease off the contact a little bit? I mean, is that something you tell them? Is that something that, I mean, is that even feasible as a coach to say, just take it easy?
We do. I mean, we do a lot of tagging off. I mean, the state's limited as to how much contact we're actually allowed to have during the week. And we do a lot of tagging off. I mean, we very rarely bring a running back to the ground. I mean, we just don't do that, whether we're first team defense or first team offense. We do a lot of tagging. We try to accelerate through the blocks and accelerate through the tackle, but not even touch them, just more or less tag off, pat them on the butt and keep on going. But you have to, because, it is, like you said, it is a sprint right now. We're going in, this is week 3, halfway through the season. I guess you can say. And with this league, it's a war every single week. I mean, it doesn't get any easier. We got Niles, the biggest team in the league, biggest school in the league, and they're coming. They got us last year. I mean, we were in control of the ball game. They came back strong and beat us in overtime. And those are things that are on my mind and the kids' minds right now. And a little chance for revenge, but it doesn't get any easier. You got Jefferson, who's playing probably really good football right now. And then you got Struthers, and then you got Hubbard. I mean, there is no break. I mean, there really isn't. And our kids understand that. And we've been conditioning hard the last few weeks, even more so, just because we know that you get into the playoffs, you never know what's going to happen, or the other games. We got to be prepared and for the unknown, and actually be prepared for the rest of the regular season, this 6-week season.
Naturally, from week 1 to week 2, you go from a monsoon on the first week to nice, tidy Friday last week. A lot more points naturally in week 2. Do you feel good about your offense when they have some sturdy feet to put on the carpet, so to speak?
I do. I mean, our offense is explosive. I mean, you got Dylan Dominguez who's doing a great job, and Michael Patrone and Billy Skurpak stepped in and did a great job the other night. And you got the receivers. You got Jake Gehring had a great night catching the ball. I mean, it was a very good offensive spread, being able to spread the ball around, and we're going to be hard to defend just if we continue doing that, just because there are so many weapons. Luke Blasco had a phenomenal game. Also, you can't forget about him because he scored a couple times, caught a touchdown, ran for a touchdown. I mean, all over the field. And we're going to mix things up. We're going to try and find out where you're weak, and we're going to try and attack that point. And thank goodness again for my assistant coaches, because they do a good job preparing the kids and getting the offense ready. Because we have to. I mean, we're outsized. I mean, look at Poland, how big they were. Girard wasn't small at all, and this week, we're going against, like I said, Niles, and they're just as big as Poland. So we got to use a little, misdirection. We got to use a little different philosophies when we're playing these teams, and hopefully we can continue doing that.
I mean, you can literally use the underdog every week, or David and Goliath every week, because I don't want to say you're undersized. They're just bigger, right? I mean, bigger schools most of the time and bigger kids.
Excuse me. They are, and you hate to use that size thing, because it's the fight in the dog, and our kids are fighting hard, and like I said, I'm very proud of them. I'm very proud of how they're fighting week in and week out, and technique comes into play, and there's a lot of things that come into play. And like I said, I'm hats off to my assistant coaches again for making sure that they're doing those little things right and getting on them week in and day in and day out to make sure they're doing it right. But it is, we're we don't like to use the underdog thing. We like going thinking more that we're in for a battle. We know that every week, and we're going to try to fight that 48 minutes and come out with a victory. That's our goal. Our goal is always, like we have talked about before, is to win the league, and we're going to fight these league games, because these league games are pretty important to us. And every single week, I would love to have played Springfield week 1. I would love to play Crestview. I would love to play Canton Central Catholic again. Those are games that I really missed this year, but I'm glad that the league decided to play league games, so then we have something extra to fight for this year.
All right, so let's turn the page to Niles. I mean, last year it came down to special teams, and we came out on the wrong side of it. Talk to me about special teams this year and how things have changed, because there's a lot of attention being drawn to your kicker right now.
Special teams has changed. I mean, we're doing a great job in all aspects of the special teams, but Harley Novak's been doing a great job. I mean, she talked to me pre-COVID, pre-March about saying, hey, I want to kick. I said, oh, that's good. We'll give you a shot and come try out. And she said, I've been kicking a little bit and been going down with Michael and showing me how. And I said, we have a couple kids coming back that kicked for us last year. And then, they had their own plans. I mean, we have one's playing soccer, one's playing baseball. Thank goodness they're doing what they love. And we needed a kicker, and Harley showed up again. She said, I'm serious about kicking. I said, well, I'm serious about giving you a tryout. And, she did a great job. We went down and kicked some, just us. And she did a phenomenal job. And I brought a couple of my assistant coaches another day, and a snapper and a holder. And, she just did a great job. She understands that it's a process, and she's been doing a great job. She was perfect last week, 8 for 8, and the week before that, 3 for 3 and a field goal too. And she's just, she's a lot of fun to have around. And then when she's not at our practice, obviously she's out kicking a soccer ball all over the place too. So, but she brings a little spark. She's fun to have around, and she's doing a phenomenal job. I'm very proud of her, because it's hard being a female in this sport, and the guys don't think of her as that. They think of her as a teammate, and because that's what she is. I mean, tonight we had team feeds, and she sat there with the boys and ate, and it's awesome. They have a great rapport with her, and they all love her to death, and she's been doing a great job in responding, and hasn't been frazzled, which is phenomenal. Because they were coming at her a couple times last week, and she still put it through the uprights. So very proud of her.
So talk to me about that real quick. I mean, we live in kind of a female revolution in sports here. And we're seeing it on the network. And what's cool about what I'm seeing with your coaching staff, with your players, with the entire school, is they're seeing this as an opportunity rather than a challenge. What is it? What have you seen as a head coach, her kind of take the bull by the horn, so to speak?
Oh, I'm not. I mean, for us, I've had a couple girls play for us in the past, and I think it's if you want to play, you got to play. You got to remember it is a physical sport. It is a contact sport, and if she couldn't have helped us, I would have told her. But she could, and I told the same thing to a couple other soccer players. If they want to come try kick and come and try out, I said, if you can help us, we'd love to have you. If you can't, I mean, that's okay too. I mean, there's always a chance to try out. She just, she took the ball and ran with it. I mean, she's accepted her role. She's done a great job. Jeff Wilkins came in and worked with her a little bit. It's nice having resources.
That's awesome.
Coach Dockery coached him when he was in high school, and then went to YSU and obviously get a Super Bowl ring and everything else. And he came out quite a few times and helped her with some things that, away from kicking. I mean, just approaching your block, how to put your block, mindsets. And he was a big help to her. And, it's just, like I said, resources are fantastic. We got to use them. But it is an opportunity, come and do it. I mean, my goodness, we don't care. I mean, we're a team. We're trying to win ball games and we're fighting. And if that's the reason why, if we need her, and yes, we do need her, it's awesome that she's there to help us, and we're there to support her, all the way. So it's a lot of fun.
How really awesome is it that, when it comes down to it, and especially if you're looking to do a playoff push this year, which you are, when you get down the field in a close game, is it nice to know that you can go for 3 as opposed to having to go for 6 every time?
Oh, it is. I mean, there's little things that we have to watch, and there's days that she warms up. She'll come out after warm-ups and say, hey, I'm good from this far, I'm good from this far. So then we can judge. She said, I feel really confident. It's up to her. I mean, kickers have to be confident in whatever they're doing. And so she lets me know. And that's something that Jeff Wilkins helped out a little bit. She said, you got to tell them, how are you feeling today? If foot sore, don't feel too good, say, okay, I'm good from 30, or okay, I'm feeling really good. I think I'm good from 40. Whatever it is, I mean, we have to do that. I mean, she has to communicate with us, and she is. And, like I said, the guys are going to fight for her because, she is special to us, and she's a friend to all of us, and friends, she's a, very, very, very sweet girl, and excited to have her as part of our program.
All right, so you're taking a sweet girl and her teammates up against a really nasty team in Niles. You said already they're big, they're physical. Another physical match for you 3 weeks in a row against 3 big teams. The bigger, I guess, the meanest monsters in the conference when you look at it from a few perspectives. What do you see in Niles? What are you preparing for, and what do you think we're going to look at on Friday night?
Well, it's the guy that got us last year, Leonard. I mean, my goodness, their quarterback is phenomenal. He runs the ball well. I mean, they have a young running back, a nice freshman, a big freshman, about 205 pounds, who runs the ball hard, and a big offensive line up front. But Leonard's the guy, their quarterback is the guy that runs the ball game. I mean, he really does. I mean, he probably one of the best quarterbacks that reads coverages and finds open people and keeps the ball alive and sprays it around a lot. And, his receivers, they know if they keep on running around, if they get open, he's going to find them. And, my goodness, to have that, I mean, that's tough to defend. I mean, we're going to try and get pressure on him. We're going to try and get him to move around, but not too far, because we saw what he did the last couple of weeks. He starts moving around, and all of a sudden it's a first down, because he'll find that guy and has a great arm strength, gets it there in a hurry. And again, it's their program. We talked about Girard's offense and how they spread us out, and how Girard has run the same thing year in and year out. And they do a great job of running being Girard. Well, Niles is doing a great job of being Niles. I mean, they're not trying to be somebody else. They're just trying to be themselves and doing what they do best. Coach Perry, phenomenal coach, and he surrounded himself with, my goodness, his staff, I think, is older than my staff. And, Coach Bourne's runner. I mean, they got people there that Coach Kemp that have lots of years of experience and have won a lot of games, and they've been in this situation before. And, they're going to be ready. I mean, they're going to come ready, and they're going to look to, get us at home. And, we're trying to revenge, so it's going to be a tough game. And it's going to be, like I said, it's going to be a 48-minute war. Like you said, it's going to be a battle from beginning to end. And hopefully our offense is clicking and our defense can keep Leonard under control, and we can make some things happen.
There's a lot of pride out there, Niles McKinley, and they are excited to be meeting the 2-0 Raiders. I know that for a fact. Coach, obviously good luck tomorrow, but we got one more question, as we always do, kind of off the beaten path.
Gotcha.
I don't want to go into Corona necessarily, but I kind of want to skew off of it and ask you, because the Big Ten canceled and because there was a lot of people thinking that we weren't going to have a season, you and I were talking on the golf course when all these decisions were going down. What was the one thing that you thought you would miss the most about Friday Night Football here in 2020?
Well, obviously, just missing my fear was just missing the togetherness with the kids, being with the kids, being with my coaches. We're a family. We really are. It's a tight-knit group, coaching-wise and kid-wise. And, I saw the joy and the excitement in June and July and how they came together and how much fun they were having and how they grew together as a team. And it would have been a heartbreak. I mean, it really would be. I mean, to see them not being able to play this season if things went down that way. But you know what? I would have missed the South Range community. I mean, I got to throw, hats off to them, because it's a great community. It's a great school system. We got great support from our fans. We're down to 15%, but when we were home against Poland, it was still you could still feel the atmosphere. You could still feel the excitement in the air. And I would. I would have missed that. I would have missed the chances of watching these kids celebrate together, cry together, just being together. And that would have hurt, and along with the community not being able to, enjoy watching us and being with us too, and being part of our program.
Awesome, Coach. Well, we appreciate you certainly from this side. And if you want to watch the South Range Raiders take on the Niles Red Dragons and you don't have a ticket, we've got you covered. Get your virtual ticket here on ysnlive.com, $9.99. Not only do you get the game live, but you get to go back and watch it again and again and see what you missed the first time around. Coach Dan Yeagley, thank you so much, sir.
Oh, thank you. You know what else I would have missed? I would have missed talking to you, of course.
We would have talked anyway. Any reason to talk
about
to
this
you.
Being your favorite time. It's my favorite time, too. This chance to talk with you. And, I want to, thank your sponsors and everybody else in you for supporting us and supporting South Range football, and how special it is, me being able to sit down and talk to you every week. It's great. Please support the sponsors, and please support YSN, because they're special, and go Raiders.